and you should be going.
Alright, good. Waited for it to happen this time. Welcome back to Currents of War.
I should just
Thank you.
say
Thank you.
you should be
You're all too
going,
kind.
and then wait for that, and then record.
Thank you all for coming to a special episode of Current. Why am I introducing it like this? Welcome back to Currents of War. Last time we went to the town of Bete-le-Bel. We met the Lady of Fright. There was a oddly charged conversation between her and Duck primarily. And the gang went out to save Bete-le-Bel from a nightmarish entity living in the swamp, which turned out to be Grugan's old boss, allowing Grugan to live out everyone's dream of killing their shitty boss.
It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Did I live out the American dream?
Yeah. I just noticed Quark half knocked down one of his rock ledges. I'll have to fix that later. Or maybe I won't. Maybe he can learn a lesson. Anyways.
The American
Quark's my
dream,
Gecko.
but the French
One of my
reality.
I know you
yeah.
mean Quark, your lizard, but I'm just imagining Quark the Ferengi.
I mean, that's who he's named after. He's orange. Like
Yeah.
Quark. Yeah. But yeah. We decided next to head to the town of Morbriere. Right? Yeah, Morbriere.
Yes.
To meet our old friend Pierre before we head to Leonis. So, assuming that we don't have any more business in Bete-le-Bel, want to just get right into it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes.
Alright. So, you all travel to, Morbriere. It's a little bit up the Juravos Mountains. Not inside, like in the Bramblewoods, but on the outside. And as you, like, follow the signs, you eventually see a strange carriage held by a lever. Sorry, not a lever, by, like, a pulley. That's the simple machine I wanted. Brain. You know, a carriage that's hooked to a pulley, which has magic runes on one end of it, that is making the carriage, you know, move up on its own accord without someone pulling the rope. Truly an advanced and impressive feat of magic that could only be done with magic, and not any sort of human device.
Okay.
We have Yales pulling our carriage, right?
Yep.
Pat them. It's like, don't worry, you'll never be replaced. They can understand me because I can talk to beasts.
Yep. An old man, oh, wait, actually, now I gotta play the red.
I don't think we've ever had Duck talk to them, I realize.
One of them turns to you, Duck, and says, "Bring me human fingers, Duck. I'm valid to eat fingers, I swear it."
Here, this is just as good, and she'll just hand him one of the Bork bites.
Doesn't have the crunch to it, but I'll abide. Come, brother, let's go to the stable. Yale! The Yales go to the stable where all the animals wait for their masters to return.
Abide. Oh my god.
An old stable hand pops out and says, "Them's some weird-looking horses. Anyways, take the sky carriage up to the town, you crazy nobleman."
Careful, they're nibblers. Watch out.
Oh, I know about that. He shows off a hand that has 2 fingers.
Oh, okay.
That's why I use this now. And he pulls out, like, essentially like a wooden version of those little claw toys that you have as a kid. You know, the ones where you just pull on the little
Yeah.
trigger and the claw snaps?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like that, but made of wood.
So, taking this carriage up, does this imply the town's like up on a rise?
Yeah, it's up in the mountains.
Morbrier, right?
Right.
Morbrier. This is essentially medieval Aspen.
Mm. Let's take the gondola then.
All right.
Oh
You
yeah,
take
you called me
Sky.
a nobleman. Does that imply I'm in my goblin or my glamour?
Yeah, you guys were
Okay.
informed that this is a place where the rich fucks. It is essentially
Okay.
a vacation village.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You just said Aspen.
Yep.
Although when I think Aspen, I think Dumb and Dumber. So.
So, your sky carriage takes you up the mountain, up, and this is one of the higher peaks of the Juravos Mountains. So high that when you actually start approaching the actual town, you realize that there's snow all around it. Not how much farther from the ground you are, and eventually you're carried to a huge cabin where servants and guards see you to the entrance. And you arrive at the center of this map that you're about to join in on. Right
where
here.
Our good friend Pierre is.
Figure out.
And it's inside for a change.
As you arrive, Pierre's like, oh, well, I was hoping I'd see you all. Are you still trying to help stop this dreadful war and whatnot?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, luckily for us, there's a whole bunch of noblemen, real bigwigs here, and I've been doing a pretty good job of sweet-talking them, partly for the business thing, but also just sort of getting them warming up to this idea that maybe a war's not so good for us. And I think if you could help reinforce that message, it would really, really help us get some people with real power and money on our side.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. So who do we got here, Pierre?
Well, let's list out the characters in today's session. Well, there's Miss Verte. She's a viscountess. Madame Moutarde. She is a duchess. Princess Prune. Hasn't come into her title yet, but she's a very eligible bachelorette, and she could marry into any family. Mr. Blanc, of course, very rich fellow, a very famous merchant. He was knighted. Lord Ecarlate, very, very famous nobleman. And Professor Payon, he was almost an advisor to the Duke of Leonis. Oh, and, of course, there's the wizard here. What's his name? Monsieur Carcasse.
Yeah, those are pretty colorful names.
Oh, and there's a whole entertainment group too in the ballroom over there. Oh, not the ballroom, the greeting hall. That's what I meant.
The balls. Do any of those names sound familiar, or particularly?
Yeah, you've heard
noteworthy?
those names. You've heard those names amongst others mentioned to your master.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah,
Has
I
Dutch
guess
tried
that
to
gives me
steal
a
from any
real
of them
clue
before?
as to.
Duck, you have successfully stolen from Mr. Blanc.
Beautiful.
I guess that gives us a pretty good clue of who's all around here.
Yeah, I have a suggestion. Why don't you go from room to room and just introduce yourselves?
Probably a good idea.
Let's try this room.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. So, you find yourself in the game room. And in the game room, there is a fellow in a white and black suit, currently going through all the cards on the table, And when you come in, he jumps a little and drops the cards like, oh, and he quickly tries to put them all back together. If anyone would like to make a double insight check, you may. Oh, sorry, an insight plus willpower check. Insight plus willpower.
Insight and willpower, I can do that.
Grr.
I'm not afraid of
Fucking
this.
goose eggs.
Dang it, Duck, you're supposed to be good at these.
Not facing a fear. I don't get my +6.
Should I roll a fabulous point?
Preserve your points. We
I have a
should-
lot of them. We all have
many
a ton
po-
of them.
How many points do you have?
15.
Oh, fucking spend one.
Oh, jeez.
What's
Yeah.
funny is that so many of you are close,
Yeah, I'm.
but not quite there.
Fuck it.
What
I'm
do we
gonna
need
spend
to
one.
roll?
Oh my god, it's the
Insight
same
plus
roll.
willpower.
It's almost the same roll.
Insight plus willpower. Let's see.
Oh, I know,
what
it's
we
much
got.
better. It's an
And-
8.
There.
Can I
Thank you,
invoke my?
Grogan.
Can
Grugan,
I? Go ahead.
Grugan,
Yes.
this guy is trying to rig the deck so that he can win at cards later.
Well, I know not to play cards with you tonight.
I don't know what you mean. Cards is a great game. I'm not super good at it myself, but I do love to gamble with my money.
Clearly, the deck's going to be shuffled before every hand.
Of course, of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Anyway,
one are you?
pleasure to meet ya.
Mr. Blanc. Mr. Blanc. Pleasure to meet you all as well.
Duck should already
Mr.
know
Blanc.
this guy.
Yeah, now Duck, you know exactly when you robbed this guy. To be fair, it was less robbing and more debt collecting. He had gotten in bad with one of the crime bosses and was using his power to sort of evade the usual shakedown. So you and your troop were hired to basically just take what was owed stealthily.
The IRS, the Illegal Revenue Service.
Damn. I mean, that's also true in real life.
Okay, so Duck's amused.
Grugan's also kind of like, yeah, whatever, dude. I don't care if you cheat at cards. I'm just not gonna play with you.
So, what brings you up here, Sir Blanc?
Oh, well, you know, there's rumblings of wars going on, and I just thought, you know, it'd be a great time for a vacation when all that's happening.
Yeah, I suppose worst comes to worst, they could always cut access to that carriage, and then it'd be pretty hard for the army to get up here.
Well, luckily, we have many magical conveniences provided by Monsieur Carcasse, including ways to just sort of automatically teleport things from the local grain silos. We could last at least 10 years here.
What was the name he said?
Monsieur
Carcasse.
Carcasse.
Okay. For some reason, I misheard it as Monsieur Carcass.
So did I. At the first time.
Probably doesn't help it.
First
Probably
time you
because this
said it.
guy's name is Blanc. It's all kind of going together. I see. Yeah. It would be pretty. That is pretty convenient up here. I guess this is a pretty good, safe place to be.
It is excellent. I mean, that's what Morbriere was originally founded for, a way to keep the royalty safe when barbarians from the north or those brutish Mediterraneans from the south come calling, not to mention the Bretonge. And now
Yeah.
it's a luxurious paradise away from home.
It's gonna make a note to myself to come back here if things ever go south with all this.
Remind me what Mont Blanc and my own knowledge says of this dude. I can't
Mont
remember
Blanc?
if it, not the man's name is Blanc. Sorry.
Yeah.
What Pierre said.
Pierre said, Mr. Blanc, he's a famous nobleman, big spender. He, that was basically it.
Yeah, Duck has to inform the rest of the group when we're not, standing in the same room as the guy. Be like,
So,
oh yeah, that guy's a sleazebag.
pretty small fish, all things considered.
Yeah, I would say he's like lower than a marquis, so like, I don't think he'd be an earl. He might be a count. I feel like the step of nobility that I'm missing in between those two.
A viscount.
Viscount's below. No, Viscount's below count, and Baron's below Viscount.
Oh.
I feel like there's something between a marquis and a count, but my brain is blanking on what it is. I know then it would, after marquis it would be earl, and duke, and then king.
Viscount?
Nope, Viscount is second lowest.
Okay.
Lady Knight, Baroness, Viscount, Viscount, Marquis, Duchess.
Well, either way,
Point
he's
is,
either a count or a step above count but below marquis.
Okay.
I guess technically knight is lower than baron, so knight would be the lowest, but still.
Alright.
So he's not the
Really don't
lowest,
knock
but
on
he's
that.
definitely nowhere near the highest. So
He's firmly in the middle,
he
Well, in
is.
that case, might want to ask.
which is still fairly powerful, just to beware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, speaking of all this war stuff and everything, you got soldiers behind you, right?
Oh yeah, my county is loaded with young men willing to give their lives for Francain, and the Moragal specifically, and me even more specific.
Does Duck know that's bullshit?
Duck, you would know that is true. That is how the human society functions.
Okay.
They probably wouldn't be super enthused about it. And if like he gave too many go into the meat grinder orders, they might rebel
Yeah.
and oust his ass. But like
He's
that is
overestimating
technically
the loyalty, but the loyalty is there.
yeah. There is the loyalty to him that there is to the system that he is a part of.
Okay.
He can always stop being part of the system, though, if he pisses enough people off.
Yeah, this is Francain. They're not opposed to a terror now and then.
You guys are usually the ones that kind of press about, the people joining our forces and everything. Should we press this guy about it, or just kind of keep taking a look around?
Probably get a feel for the rest, I think, right?
Yeah. Let's see what our options are. This guy seems like he would be amenable to being pushed if we do it in the correct way, but see if there's somebody easier.
If you make it appeal to his self-interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once we're out of the room, Duck will explain, that she's, during her time here, or around here, she's redistributed some of his wealth and explain his, shady underdealings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
This guy gets into gambling debts with criminals fairly frequently. And I forgot, I have background music for this place, so put that on.
Let's see what's behind door number 2.
Alright.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll catch you for some cards later.
You come across a fairly large and well-stocked library. And at the table here is Professor Peon.
So if I don't move my token like normal, I am drawing, so don't mind me. Just assume I'm following.
If upon entering the library, you would like to do a Dex plus Insight check, and then you can also do a double Insight check, and these are for different things.
So you can roll once for each type.
Yep. A Dex plus Insight, you can roll that once, and a double Insight, you can roll that once, and they're for different things.
Oh,
Wrong one.
I think Duck hears a honk with that.
And then double insight.
Double Insight.
Duck, you're supposed to be good at these types of rules. Come on, get it together.
It was the curse.
Okay. So we'll start. Who got on the Dex plus Insight? Who got a 12 or above?
Yo.
Anyone
I got a
else? Dex plus
12
Insight.
For Duck, 12.
12 and one share. Duck and one share. You're the only ones who got 12 and above.
I think so.
Yep, I got 13.
All right. As you enter, you see Professor Payon is reading a book that says Guide to Bird Watching in Amoragol. But as you crane your head next to see what he's reading, you realize that the dust jacket is incorrect, because this is actually a book of Harpy erotica. Okay. For the double insight, did anyone get a 14 or above?
I got a 15.
I
Anyone
got
else?
16.
Alright. Grugan and Flavian. As you enter the library, you notice something truly odd. There's a blacksmith's hammer on one of the bookshelves between the books, kind of hidden, but it's a fucking hammer that's sandwiched between, stacks of books on either side. So it's still pretty fucking weird, and you can see, the books kind of creasing in over it.
So, like somebody's trying to hide it, or it's just there?
Yeah! I mean, why would you put a blacksmith's hammer on a library bookshelf? And yeah,
Yeah, that-
it looks like someone tried to hide it, but did a kind of shitty job.
Grugan's gonna glance at that and see if anybody else saw it.
Professor Payon,
Flavian.
this, Oh, sorry, you go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say Flavian kind of gives Grugan a quizzical or puzzled look at about it too.
Like, what the fuck?
Professor Payon doesn't seem to notice either of you. He is engrossed in his book. He's a slightly older, but not unattractive gent, maybe in his mid to late 50s, dressed in a brilliant blue suit with some sort of jade green accents. Peacock colors, one might say.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem to notice you as he intently studies his book on bird watching.
Oh yeah, watching.
Yeah, definitely watching them birds.
Watching him do
What was
something.
the title on the sleeve?
The dust jacket says A Guide to Bird Watching in Amoragol.
Duck will just chime in. It's like, oh, I didn't know that edition came out. May I see it?
No, it's I'm reading the first draft, so it's riddled with spelling errors. You should wait until the more refined. Hello, I'm Professor Payon. I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
You seem very interested in harpies.
I have no idea why you would say such a thing. I was reading merely about birds.
Is there a sleeveless book somewhere in view?
Yeah. There's some dust jacketless books nearby. There's one dust jacketless book nearby.
Oh, the temptation.
Let the man.
Yeah, anyway, nice to meet you. My name's Flavian Pascal.
Flavian Pascal?
Yeah.
Why does that name strike me as familiar? Let me see. Ah, searching the banks of memory. By searching the banks of memory, I mean searching the document of character's name so I get the right name here. You wouldn't happen to be Marion Pascal's little boy?
Yeah, I don't know about the little boy part, but yeah, I'm her son.
I remember she had the cutest little shop in Lutetia for a time. It went under. I felt real bad about that. I really loved, going in there and getting various knickknacks and things.
Yeah. That was a nice place. See, you've been there before.
Oh, yes, a few times. Whenever I was going in to talk to the various royals in the city, I would always stop in just to see if I could get myself a little souvenir of the city, as it were. Yes, it was quite a time. What a wonderful, enchanting woman your mother was. And are you also a merchant?
Yeah, and I am. Been doing trades all around lately.
It's wonderful. Some nobles are like, we don't like this new money class coming in and buying their way into nobility. But I say the more's the merrier. I don't care about your commoner blood.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. So you're then a noble too, or yourself?
Yes, indeed. Fifth son of my family, so I don't inherit any titles or land, but I'm a noted intellectual, and someday I'm going to be a counselor to someone of import, I'm sure.
Right, this is the guy that Flavian said was almost advisor to the Leonis Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, I see. So what brings you here?
Oh, well, just some of my friends were coming up here, and they've got some good books. I was hoping to hop on, maybe see if anyone needs some advising on matters. I'm very, very knowledgeable about a variety of topics.
The mating habits of harpies?
You've got a lewd imagination. No, of course not.
Yeah, what you been focusing on lately for your advising? What you looking for?
This and that. Right now, I'm reading about local birds. You're helping this person revise their factual guide so that there's far less typos and mistakes. Reading about fauna and flora and mineral and vegetable, all sorts of topics.
May I see what you're reading currently?
No! I mean, no. It's, as I told you, riddled with typos. Really does not fit. I think the author would be most humiliated if I let the person who had not previously agreed to revise it to look upon it in such a state.
Very well.
it's good of you to help somebody with their revising.
Well, I'm just a helpful guy, If you know anyone rich in need of good advice and assistance, please tell them my name. Please.
Yeah, you do. You doing any advising war related lately?
Well, it's a rather grim subject. I'd rather hope not to. I hope it doesn't come to that. You don't think we're going to have to fight those brutish Bretonch fellows, or worse, the goblins? I'm not sure which one scares me more.
From personal experience, Bretons.
I knew it, dirty savages.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Hopefully it won't come to that. I think we appreciate the chat. You know, pleasure to meet someone who's
Yes, I've got a lot of
Really,
reading to do, so why don't you leave me to my
Affairs.
good to meet an old patron of Ma.
Yes, good to meet you too, Sir Flavian Pascal.
Yeah.
You want to study next?
Sure.
We all need to be careful about antagonizing these rich folks if we want the help later, don't you think?
I'm sorry, but he's just reading Harpy Smut right in the open, so.
I mean, to be fair, he did
Yeah.
hide it with a dust jacket. If someone would
Curious
like to
about
make a
that
double
hammer.
insight check, they can.
Double
As they
insight.
enter a room with a woman about her early 40s in a brilliant purple gown, herself reading a book, very clearly labeled a hobbyist guide to magic.
I'm gonna spend a point to re-roll that. Because why not?
Ooh!
Fuck!
Damn!
I was gonna spend a point, but I don't think there's a point after that. Hot
No.
damn.
I was already doing it though,
Fuck.
so.
Doc, you notice hidden in this room there is a secret trapdoor.
Nice.
As you guys enter, she looks up from her book and says, "Oh, hello." And she closes her book and puts it on a mantelpiece. Oh, who might you all be? Don't all
Newly
answer at
arrived.
once.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of the experience.
Yeah, I'm Flavian
Uh-oh.
Pascal, merchant. And these are my comrades in arms.
Newly arrived.
Hello.
Welcome to Morbriere. I hope you enjoy your stay. It's a lovely little vacation spot, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
very
certainly
lovely
seems
so far.
lovely.
I'm Princess Trune,
A princess.
and she does a curtsy.
Your Highness, and he'll do a bow. In his twink form, reminder.
Deep voiced
I-
twink.
I haven't been in my non-magic form for a bit. People have been really chill about the skeleton thing.
Because why not?
I assumed you were wrapped up,
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I'm probably wrapped up.
or people just kind of assumed you're a skeleton manservant.
Not
Fair
unheard of. I'm sure you all know my father, the Earl of Curry.
Would I?
Yeah, of course.
Would any of us know that?
It sounds vaguely familiar, but God, who keeps all these fuckers straight?
It's fair.
Yes, and how goes the your father lately? How's he been?
He's old. He's very old. So, getting a husband would really help things along a bit to ensure that certain parts of the Curry family fortune stay within Curry hands.
Say the word fortune. I heard the word fortune.
Soon to inherit then?
Not if I don't have a husband and an heir, but
Said she's in her 40s.
she's in her like early 40s, so it's not looking good for her.
man. It's one of the ways we can get her help is marrying her off to one of us.
Quick, Flavian, go!
Fabian, go!
Mary and the money.
What a-
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a shame someone like you hasn't been able to find anybody so far, but you know, you gotta stay hopeful about that sort of thing. There's someone out there for everybody, right?
Yeah. There's been so many suitors, but they all turn into fish.
Fish.
Every suitor
like-
that I have managed to arrange a marriage with has been turned spontaneously into a fish.
That sounds like, in our professional opinion, that you might be cursed.
It's very possible, yes, it's very possible.
So actually, TT,
Yeah?
since Duck's whole thing is she was cursed, and we kind of talked about how she's trying to focus on manipulating cursed stuff, would she be able to figure out if she is in fact cursed with something?
Yeah.
Perhaps, but you'd have to do a ritual spell, and you might want to save your MP for the time being.
Fair.
That is a most unusual
quite messed
curse.
up. How long's that been a
like-
thing?
25 years.
Sounds like someone really doesn't want you to inherit the family title.
Yes, or just doesn't want me to marry someone else.
Got any upset lovers in your past?
Jealous
Just the
wizard?
ones that are fish.
It's unfortunate you got some enemy out there. You know, we've done our fair share of hunting down some ne'er-do-wells. If you ever have some more information to provide, we could possibly help.
I'll try to rack my brain, and maybe after dinner we can talk about it and see what we can find.
Yeah. Like I said, we'd be happy to help.
Alright, that's very... And she gives you another curtsy.
Bow my way out the door, and then as soon as Flavian comes out, he's gonna look at him. Not say a goddamn word, but he's gonna look at him.
Don't want to become a fish or anything, but you know, we're supposed to sucker up to all these nobles for the war effort, aren't we?
We are.
If we do solve this war, this fish thing, then you know, this is an option. A fortune does sound pretty nice.
Sorry, I'm just trying to imagine you with gills.
What happens if we
I mean,
break
she
that?
gives me access to my
What
age
hap-
is just a number, but the most important number is her fortune.
Oh my god.
And she does look... I will say this, she looks pretty fine.
What happens
by
if
the
we do
way-
break that curse and all of our suitors turn back into people?
It's a
Yeah,
bold
well,
assumption
well.
that fish has lived that long.
These are
Yeah,
magic
that,
fish.
and hopefully,
Air.
well, you know, maybe at least she'll send the soldiers on our side and all that, right?
Oh, by the way,
Be
there was
nice.
a trap door in that room.
Ah,
Just off in the corner.
Good to know.
Yeah, there was like a blacksmith hammer in the library for some reason.
being hidden among the books, yeah, it was very weird.
Suspicious.
Getting
Keep
the
an eye
books?
out for
Alright.
more discrepancies.
In the ballroom, you see a wizard with a long white beard doing a little jig and dancing by himself. As you watch this fellow practicing his dance moves, you may do a double insight check.
Okay.
Dang, Duck. I know that's Grugan.
Rugen is just a
It's your
critical
second
success.
critical success.
No,
It
did
was
I?
Duck last time, Grugan this time.
Where's my roll? Oh yeah, I did. I guess. I saw
you're
Sir
gonna-
Reed with his 6 doubles, and I'm like, I don't think that is that me.
You're the only one who managed to spot this. Hidden among the cords for the various curtains in this room is one rope that's a bit out of place, and you realize it's a garrote.
Like somebody's.
It's a type of rope used specifically, like a length and a thickness used specifically for choking someone to death. Hidden amongst the various curtain cords in this room.
Okay.
Oh, I get it.
He's gonna reach out and
Get it.
grab that and like hide it on his person. No. Hello? Can you not?
Hidden a
Grugan.
garrote?
Yeah, I
You
don't.
there, wizard.
Hello, I'm Monsieur Cacas, the Wizard of Morbriere.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet all of you, strangers. Don't tell me
We
you're
are-
merchant. You're merchant class. You're all nobles, right?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Well, yes,
Oh, good, splendid. Splendid. I was briefly worried, but now we're all good friends.
Right.
I guess technically Duck realized she doesn't have to lie when she said yes now.
Grugan is technically a knight, so.
And Flavian
Yeah.
is technically of noble blood, even if he is, no offense, a bastard.
Yeah.
Like, I mean that bastard in literally the technical sense of the word.
Yep. Yeah, you're the proprietor of this place, aren't you?
Well, more or less I dabble. Of course, I really excel in my chief job as advisor to the Duke of Leonis.
Yeah.
But I like to make sure this little paradise is spick and span and chugging along perfectly. Good to have a home away from home,
Indeed. It's a very, impressive bit of magic that you've done here.
Well, thank you. I'm a very well-learned wizard. One of 5 court wizards in Leonis, and I fancy to think myself the best.
Yeah. How things been in Leonis lately? How's the Duke been?
Oh, very good, very good. He's, to let you on a little secret, he's working to get us into this Goblin War to make sure we make out with quite a bit of cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the side of Bretonge?
On the side of the nobility, of course. They actually have, not from Anglesix, but from Herefordshire, the northern Bretonge kingdom, a very powerful duke of their own is visiting in the city, this Bruno Gresley fellow.
That was
Very
one of
respected
the-
dragon slayer. He
Yeah.
apprenticed under Sir George Garston II.
Oh, that's George's other minion, right? Besides his
Second
son.
in command.
Yeah, so they're negotiating about all this down over there now?
Yes, they're working to convince the king. I believe is how they phrase it. The king is being very, very stubbornly insistent on not getting involved in this war and trying to keep the Bretonge out of Amoragol, but he's missing the fact that this is clearly an opportunity.
Yeah.
We
This
of the
is.
nobility made out like bandits the last time a Goblin War came around. and we stand to do so again.
Reed would like to approach the wizard.
Mm-hmm. Monsieur Carcass.
Kind of loom over him. And does that make you feel big, wizard?
Interesting question. No, I don't believe it makes me feel like my size has changed. But I do like the idea of all that money, and, you know, a lot of goblins trucking magic, which could bring some very nice artifacts to my personal collection.
Yeah, I suppose, too, with this place up here, you're pretty safe away from everything that's gonna happen, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am. You know, I don't want to stay too long, of course, because then I might lose my favor as an advisor, but on the other hand, if things don't go the way we want them to in Leonis, I might be better off here, where it's safe. Oh, decisions.
Yeah, speaking of things not going the way you want in Leonis and everything, is that implying that some of the advisors aren't really on the same page as you?
Oh, yes, there are some people there who believe in what the king is saying, or just don't want to get involved, and some of them just don't like the Bretons, which is such a silly thing. We're not at war with them at the moment.
Is that what you believe, wizard?
Yes!
Oh, what was the... I always forget it. What was the town they burned? That Margot is from?
Let me look. I think it's one of the wine names.
It was Cabernet, right?
Cabernet. Yeah, Cabernet.
He goes, oh, we unfortunately saw they killed the nobility of Cabernet alongside the goblins just as, you know, lined them up, put them on spikes just as equal height.
The nobility of Cabernet, please. There's just one knight in that town, and besides, I've heard such a thing, then I heard they were harboring a goblin population, which is just nasty, horrible, foul little creatures.
Yes, I suppose in this mountain refuge of yours, you're too far up to see the smoke rising from our burning country.
From the peasants' part of the burning country, the nobility's going to make it out just fine.
Yeah, they always do, don't they?
You're of noble blood, wizard.
Duck sidles up to Grook and is like, give me that garrote.
He does.
No, you're gonna spoil my session if you kill him now.
Do it. Kill.
I let you steal one of the murder weapons. Don't keep doing this.
Duck, well, also Duck just kind of wants it.
No, yeah, he'll give it to her.
So you're of noble blood then, wizard?
Yes! 7th son of my family. If I finally convince that sweet, sweet Princess Prune to be my wife, I could have 7 sons of my own, produce the most magical child this country's ever seen.
Oh, that's interesting information.
God. Sounds like courting her is a little dangerous, though. Haven't you heard? All of them turn into fish that try.
Yes, strange. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
The grip tightens on the garrote.
Anyways. Let's be on the lookout for our lodgings.
Oh, the servants will show you somewhere, of course.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, likewise.
Okay, above game. I really want to try soul stealing from him while he's alive.
I don't have anything for him. You're not gonna fight him. Something is going to happen to this man.
Good.
Before
Something
leaving,
you
I would
cannot
like to...
predict based on the number of rooms and the things you found in those rooms and the names of the 6 nobility that you have been told are gonna meet here. As well as the fact that the wizard's name translates to Mr. Body.
He's dead, yeah.
Before
I
leaving,
don't like that guy.
I would like to Reed extends a hand in a clear handshake fashion for the wizard.
He shakes your hand, or I imagine
His
gets
grip
hand
is
squeezed.
incredibly tight.
Look, dude, fuck, ow,
Charmed to meet you.
ow, ugh, nice.
And he just lumbers off.
All right,
Out in the hallway, Art's like, "I'm proud of you, buddy. You didn't immediately murder him. If I'd been in your situation, probably would have stabbed the fucker."
That was very close.
As you all enter the lounge, there is a twang and a thunk as an arrow hits the wall very close to the first person through the door's head. Ah, sorry about that. This newfangled device of mine is a little hard to figure out. You see a nobleman dressed in red holding a sort of sideways bow with like a mechanical mechanism and a strange protruding handle.
Does it look goblin and make?
It looks very similar to some goblin bows, yes, but a more elegant wooden design, but also like a less practical design. Like it looks like reloading this thing would really fucking suck.
It's a shitty
It's a
human
cross-
crossbow.
It is, this is the top-of-the-line crossbow. Oh, I've paid a pretty penny for it, but it's worth it.
This guy,
Can't
right?
wait to go out and kill some animal. Yes, this fellow. If anyone, while Lord Escalarte shows off his new weapon to you, would like to do a double insight check.
I would.
Come on, Duck.
I need to start being afraid of things in here, apparently.
Well,
Gotten
maybe
above
after the
a
murder.
6 in one of these for the last 4 rolls.
Okay,
Yeah,
we roll.
same.
I'm gonna see what Duck gets before I spend another fabula point.
Come on, Duck,
It's
you
same.
professional thief. Boo.
Okay, I'll spend a fabula point. why
Well,
not?
can I invoke a bond?
It won't be enough.
12 won't be.
Grugan, thanks for spending your fabula point. You got just enough to notice the trapdoor in this room.
Did you spend it, Arthur? Yes, you did.
I am doing that just now. Do.
No.
He'll give Duck a nudge and point at or nod at where the trapdoor is.
Oh, that's where it is. Look for it.
Here, let me show you. And Lord Escarlate shows you his awesome, shitty fucking crossbow. It only takes 25 minutes to reload.
Quite fascinating.
Looks to Flavian knowing his little buddy. What's his little machine?
It's a little dragon, right?
How much did you pay for that sort of thing?
It was a steal. My contact, Mr. Weber, initially said the price was 50,000 zenith, but he marked it down for 45,000.
It's a Weber original then.
Didn't we dump a bunch of gear onto Ross earlier? Is this something we sold earlier in the campaign?
Yeah, how
I
familiar
don't-
is looking?
I don't believe you guys gave him a crossbow.
We gave him like 70 hands.
Yeah, you helped him make a hand of several hands of glory.
Fair enough.
Which Duck still claims he owes her one, which, to be fair, he never agreed to that, but she says he does.
He respects the con, but not enough to pay up.
Oh my god. Grugan doesn't say anything, but in his mind he's like, okay, Ross, that's really fucking funny.
Some people do not
Like-
deserve their money.
Had a feeling it was going to be Ross, but yeah.
Well, it's
The guy just keeps going on and on about his crossbow in the way of obnoxious rich dudes going on and on about their favorite gun that they bought for taking down tanks.
It's a
Art
very,
seems to be genuinely enjoying the conversation.
it's a very impressive piece of kit, but I am afraid I have to go and find where I'm being lodged tonight.
Alright, well, when I get reloaded, I'll show you it again.
That would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Who's this creepily smiling man by the door?
As you guys exit the lounge, you see a fellow. There were 2 guards at the doorway, if you remember, dressed in armor with Frankish heraldry. This guy is dressed in the leather and metal armor of a mercenary. He's got a sneaky look about him, and he's smiling maliciously as he sits or stands, leaning against the wall, going, "Bunch of rich chumps here, huh?" Man, these pampered bastards. They wouldn't know it if a sword stabbed them in the ass.
I hope somebody who stabbed any of them would have better aim than the ass.
But that's where they keep their pocketbooks.
Grugan knows what he means, but for a second he thinks to himself, they keep their pocketbooks in their ass? Why are fucking humans so weird?
Seems like he's of your ilk, Duck.
Wow.
Name's
Yeah.
Yvonne. I can tell from the way yous all talk and walk that you're not actually nobility. So I ain't gonna squeal on her if you're worried about such things. I was just hired by that fucking jackass wizard to, protect his life. As if anyone's gonna threaten him here in this gilded cage.
Yeah, he seems pretty protected.
Yep. Easy money.
Can't be an easy job.
Yeah, sounds pretty nice.
He nods. Does sound nice.
Especially with all these, rich patrons he invites around.
Yeah. And none of them are suspecting a thing.
Yeah, because there's nothing to suspect, right? Flavian winks
Yep.
at him.
I think the most tolerable one.
You're all good chums. Hey, let me tell you, if you get the hors d'oeuvres, make sure to get the red herring. It's delicious.
Yeah, I'm surprised his hair's not red.
I think we should go ask Princess Plum if all of her suitors turn into red herrings.
We should have.
I thought about it asking, but I didn't, You know what's not like as we're walking the hallway back to the next room? It's like, you know what's nice? He was intently duplicitous and held nothing back, and he was the most tolerable person I think we've met thus far.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the rich lady.
Princess Plum was nice.
Professor seemed all right, I guess. Maybe he could, find a different place to indulge in his interests, but yeah.
I mean, okay, so you gotta remember, friend Flavian, I am street level. I am a peasant in the comparison to these people. Everybody seems to have a secret motive of some variety here. They're all hiding something, except the man who looks like he is hiding something. I think he's being honest because this gig to guard these people would be the easiest job on planet Earth.
So,
They're
We
hiding
all
that they're
enter the
rich.
dining room. There are cooking. There are servants setting the table. They're like, "Oh, we're not ready for you yet. Give us a half hour or so."
No, apologies.
There's nothing of note in here. No checks to make.
Yet.
So far.
Are you skipping this one? You're not going clockwise?
Kitchen.
Back.
In the kitchen, you find a lady who is basically shoving hors d'oeuvres into her mouth off of a hot tray, occasionally like "Whoop," as she accidentally touches the metal pan.
Oh my god, it's Wario.
Oh, it's Mixed Piggy.
Just checking these to see if they're good. The cooking staff is really on the game.
Yeah, that's good to know.
As you are in the kitchen, if anyone would like to make a double insight check, you can actually make 2.
You can make 2?
You make 2.
Well, I'm not seeing anything this time, so.
Here we go.
Thank you, Flavian.
One.
Wow!
Good roll.
I rolled a
Well
10.
done.
Is that it? Is that it? Okay.
Yes.
You do get a
Flavian,
fabula point for that, Monsieur.
Sweet.
Flavian,
Mhm.
you find. Oh shit! There was something we could have done in the dining room. We'll go back and do that in a second. But Flavian, you find as you look about that among the knives, there is one that is clearly out of place. It is not a kitchen knife, but rather a dagger. It's set with all the knives, you know, the bread knife and the carving knife and all that, but it's not a knife used for eating or for cooking. It's a dagger used for shanking. And unfortunately, no one got a
What-
16, so we won't know what this is.
I wonder what they're cooking up in here.
I'll also let you retroactively do a double insight check for the dining room. Because there was one thing I should have pointed out.
Okay.
You know, if you got it.
Come on, Duck.
Not
No,
doing
Art,
that.
you got a critical success. Good job
Yeah.
on you, bud.
Art, you got the critical success, yeah. Okay, so Art, you were the one who noticed it. In the
And
dining
Flavian.
room. No, Flavian's actually too low, but Art got a critical success, so that's a fail. That's a success. Art, on the table of the dining room, there were 3 candelabras, and one of them wasn't made in the same style as the others. It looked to be heavier, older, less fashionable, and a bit dented. Almost like it was more you were a bludgeoning instrument than a lighting instrument.
God.
But I have yoinked it.
No.
Okay.
You can't steal all the weapons before the mystery begins. I let you have one. Be satisfied, you fucks.
No! We need more!
I know what's
Give
happening,
us the...
and it delights
So,
me.
anyways, you caught Madame Moutarde just stealing hors d'oeuvres, or rather eating hors d'oeuvres before they're served.
Duck
She
will
looks
happily
a
walk
little
over and
embarrassed.
Start eating some too.
Gives you a
Good
knowing
stuff.
nod and begins stuffing her face again.
Yeah, you're Madame Mortard, right?
Yep, Madame Moutarde. A pleasure to meet you all. Here, try the red herrings. They look at us with the saddest eyes, as if they're heartbroken.
I'm going to kill you.
Wait, what happened?
Flavian's gonna eat the herring.
It said, here, have some red herrings.
With the saddest,
I'm having-
heartbroken eyes.
I'm having fun tonight.
I know. Grugan's gonna eat some of those fish,
How's
by
the
the
herring
way.
taste?
Nope. They taste like being single and not enjoying it.
Ouch.
I mean, that does seem like a lot like actual pickled herring.
Every once in a
Is
while,
there
I'll
cheese?
get cravings for
Of course
sardines.
there's cheese! This is France! Fantasy France, but still!
There's
Montreal's
cheese
going to
everywhere.
Montreal's just gonna start shoveling cheese and meats into his jar.
Fuck, you stab the wall and there's a 50% chance cheese just spills out.
Like
in
Dracula's
Castlevania.
Yeah,
castle.
instead of-
50%.
Yeah.
You have to 50% as rats.
If we turn on the
Easy.
Francane soldiers and defeat them, their drops are cheese.
It reminds me
that's
of that.
Madame Mutarde.
Reminds me of that Kid Icarus game. There's this. All the enemies will drop food so you can regain your health. And there's this one level where you're inside something's digestive system and it's eating a bunch of the enemies. And all they drop is
yeah.
meat.
I remember that one.
They all drop meat, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want my health back.
Didn't Valentine make a comment about that?
It's like,
Probably.
probably. I was just like, why am I noticing this? I don't like this.
Alright,
You
are
know,
we done with
probably
this
should have
room?
interrogated her more.
Don't worry about it.
She didn't seem all that. I don't recall anything being special about her background.
She's just eating. She's fine. Well, no.
As you
Oh.
go into
Oh.
the reception hall, you see 4 entertainers working on their act. They are a type of cambion known as clowns, which of course are well known in Francane because one of the sub-varieties, mimes, once almost took the capital, Lutetia, by force. And there is in fact a mime among them, dressed in black, as well as a Perot, a white clown with a wizard staff that's also a jester's stick. There's a big buff blue clown who's clearly the strong man of the group, the buffoon, and they're all being given instructions by a harlequin in red. Alright, Bianca, remember, we gotta give them the razzle-dazzle. There's an actual wizard in the audience, so we really gotta get it good. Obsidian, you keep doing great. Remember, we're gonna change the reputation of mimes, sweetie. We're gonna make them think mimes are okay. We forgive them for taking the capital. Azurite, what are you doing? Lifting heavy stuff. That's right, you're lifting heavy stuff. Oh, hello. I don't remember any of you folks on the guest list. We're rehearsing in here.
Oh, please pardon me. I'm sorry. And he's gonna leave.
Anything to notice in here besides them?
Nope, nothing but these 4 clowns.
Good evening.
Fair
Can't
enough,
help but
ladies.
feel I've met them somewhere before.
That can't be right. You're imagining things, Flavian.
My wife talked
Yeah.
about the clowns once. It's cool that we can
Strangest
shoot them.
part, though, that red one kind of shared my accent. I haven't heard that much before.
Well, I suppose
believe
stranger
you.
things happen.
Are we
So
just leaving the,
Keynesian.
the jesters jape to their business?
They're
I
rehearsing.
would like to approach. I would
We're
like,
rehearsing, you joke.
I would like to
Professionals.
bug them though. They
Okay.
have no-
Oh, well, if Reed's gonna be there, I'm gonna make sure Reed doesn't get himself hurt.
Yep, Moncher will also go back in. Especially since this is the bloody jesty theme playing.
Good evening, ladies.
Oh, good evening, noble sir, whatever your name is. I am, of course, Scarlett of Jester's Jape. This is my performing troupe. We have nothing to do with those criminals from way back when. We just like the name Jester's Jape. The's no connection.
Does that name
Forget I
ring a
brought
bell
that
for us
up.
historically?
You can roll a double insight check. There's a lot of those today. I apologize. It is a murder mystery.
Don't
That's gonna be a
expect
murder.
Montreal to be helpful.
All
A
right,
murderless murder mystery.
Duck, come on now.
Art, did you get that 11?
Yes, I did.
You have heard of the Jester's Jape before. They're a notorious quartet of clown mercenaries who've worked for various people in the past, often nefarious types, very infamous. There's also been a number of performing acts over the years called the Jester's Jape that was also composed of a quartet of clowns. You're now beginning to wonder if maybe they're related.
No, that's fair.
Do they perform at your wedding?
No.
Ask.
No. I think I actually have heard of your group before. I don't know how much performance you've done in the past in Bretons, but I think my wife's mentioned you once or twice.
No. We don't go to Bretons. We've never been to Bretons. Yeah, not after that last time with the bit. No, but we do not mention her. We do not mention that woman. She stiffed us. No, we've never been to Bretons before.
Fair enough, I suppose. It's been a while. You know, the Giant thing does that to you.
Why, of course, my native country is of course Francaine. Pampel, technically, that's my kingdom. But it's wonderful being here in Amorigal, our neighbors to the southeast. Southwest? That's how geography works, yes. We're kind of closer to where you come from, right, Bianca? Yes, we are close to Mediterra. Boss, where does Obsidian come from? You know, I don't rightly know. Obsidian, where do you come from? The mime just smiles with a sharp-toothed grin. Yeah, right, that makes sense.
Right, of course.
Yes. Well, I don't want to interrupt your rehearsal. Just be careful out there. There's this big old Breton's ruler who's marching around, harassing pretty much everyone. So, just be careful.
Breton's rulers harassing people? That's awful. I would never be on board with that in any way, shape, or form, no matter how much money was promised.
Well,
Ah.
like, Art's gonna do, like, the look around the room. Between you and me, I've heard there's an army recruiting that's supposed to pay dividends against the fight, standing up against those Breton's bastards.
Dividends? Boss, Bianca says. She pulls her ankles. Going legit, remember? We're not doing the fighty thing anymore. You promised. I know, but dividends.
Flavian's not even here.
Plus, if you do help out, they'll remember. You'll be a very iconic part of that army. I mean, who could forget the Jester's Jape?
It would be nice to have our name become famous in a good way. As opposed to
And-
right now, where it's not famous at all, which is a bad way. Not that we
And-
have a sort of infamous reputation or any sort of notoriety, which we don't,
And-
because we're a performing troupe. We've only just formed. I'm only 20 years old.
And as you said, having a mime help with the defense of Francaine, that would go a long way to helping their image, correct?
Obsidian nods, and Azurite's like, I would like to break some heads. No! Bianca pounds her little Jester's wizard staff. No. We are going legit, and it's going to stick. No! And she points at Scarlet. No! All right. Jeez, Bianca.
I mean, fighting is technically legit. Especially
No!
if it's
No
for a
more
good
violence.
cause.
No more doing bad things. No more hurting people.
Oh,
Not
so
that we've ever done bad things before, Bianca. Not that we've done bad things. We're just a bunch of performers. Yeah. We're just a bunch of performers, and that's all we're gonna be.
Well, believe me, ladies, it's never too late to turn a new leaf. Make a new life for yourself.
Start a new act.
Yeah.
Plus, imagine all the shows you could do once you become, famous heroes.
True. We do got the skills to get those dividends. No, this is a slippery slope. We'll go right back to what we used to do. That's what happens each time. But dividends. God damn it, Scarlet! No!
Well,
You-
if you're
And Bianca points her justice at you. Get out of here! We're rehearsing as legitimate performers who only do performance and don't hurt, mangle, and maim people for money.
What about mutilate? Okay, sorry.
No mutilations! Stop it! She bonks you with her stick.
Duck, please.
Get out of here! Out of here! Performance in progress! I mean, rehearsal!
will we have to worry about the Obsidian cursing like she's doing now?
Oh, Obsidian's not talking. She's in mime.
She's cursing in mime, though. That's right. Mime swearing up a storm.
Actually, Obsidian seems very open to your proposal. It would be good to give her kind some more good press in Frankane.
Plus, can you imagine the confusion when the Dragon Slayer army charges and they start running into invisible walls?
You know you're bad when the fucking clowns are fighting against you.
In any case, if you do change your minds, feel free to follow up with Art Baker. That'd be me. Ciao for now. Comes out.
Looking Scarlet. We're performers now. But dividends.
Dividends.
Oh,
Those ladies are perpetually broke.
they're always bouncing from one thing to another. You make your
R2
way
rocket.
to the next room, which is a big indoor garden, a conservatory, one might say. And in this room is a noblewoman dressed in green, tending to some plants. Flavian, you would recognize them immediately. They're belladonna and nightshade, various plants that are used both in poisons and, more pressingly, in witchcraft and in folk conjuration. She hums thoughtfully as she tends to them. The room is a little bit messy. There's loose potting soil in different spots. It's kind of hard not to accidentally step in it and start tracking dirt around. But otherwise, it's a nice little place. And someone can do you can do 2 double insight checks in this room.
Okay.
Ooh,
Damn.
Flavian. Flavian and Art, take it away.
Okay. Did anyone get 2 that were a 14 or above?
Both of mine were.
Did anyone get, of those of you who got 2 that were 14 and above, did you get a 16 or above?
I got a 20 on one of them.
Fuck. Okay, Flavian, you notice both things. So in the conservatory, as you look around, hidden behind one potted plant, there is a strange rectangular metal rod. It takes you a moment to place it, then you realize what it is. It's what's called an iron crow. It's a rod that's designed to be used as a lever to get hard to open or really heavy things pried apart. A crowbar, if you will, but they called them iron crows in medieval times, so that's what we're calling it. And you also notice that there's a trapdoor in here. Miss Vert, meanwhile, is tending to the plants and seems very consumed with that business.
Excuse me, my lady.
Oh. She rises, brushes some dirt off of her dress, and, pats her hands so that they're less dirty, and says, "Hello, I am Miss Vert," and she does a little curtsy. "To whom do I have the pleasure of talking?"
I'm Sir Reed. This is my company.
"Very good honor to meet you, Sir Reed." And she holds out your hand for you to kiss.
Does so. Even though he's got the helmet on, he still does.
Mm-hmm.
Mimes it.
Charmed and enchanted, of course.
He
don't-
picks out a little bit of a nightshade. It's like
Oh,
lovely
dear,
flowers.
don't be touching that. That's poisonous.
It was one of my wife's favorites.
Very
course it
beautiful,
was.
but you wouldn't want that on your skin. I don't know enough
Nonetheless,
about
I think as a
nightshades if
flex,
they're like
he's
that.
going to he is going to breathe deeply of the nightshade.
Ooh, okay.
You're immune to poison, right?
That he is.
Yeah. And then
I
she
appreciate your
looks
concern.
at that and she blushes a bit and says, "My, you're a very interesting individual, Sir Reed."
I appreciate your concern, and were I a man of lesser constitution, your warning would be valid. Tell me, Miss Vert, what do you make of the company here?
Oh, well, many people of very noble blood. Some of them a little bit, sheltered, as it were, but all very noble people.
He leans forward. It is all right. I represent no one. Let me speak freely. Some of them are rather contemptible.
Almost all of them are bores. Mr. Blanc will always try to pinch you for money. Professor Payan is an ignoramus who thinks he knows more than he does. Princess Prune is sweet, but troubled with the whole fish thing. Lord Escalarte is always going on about some new Gidget or Gazmo or whatever that he buys from that Weber fellow, and Madame Moutarde is, very food-minded. Nothing wrong with that, but, there is more to life than just consumption. And then, of course, there's Monsieur Carcasse.
Yes. Charming individual.
Loathsome, judgmental little toad is more like.
He is very hard to stay in the company of for more than a second.
And he thinks he's so important because he has the ear of a duke, as if we're not all of nobility, and as if there's any real difference between the ranks whatsoever. Indeed, to speak quite frankly, I honestly do not believe there's actually much difference between a noble and a commoner beyond the amount of money in their coffers and the pomposity of their attitudes.
Indeed. You have a good head about you.
Well, we must if we are to navigate these trying times. Sir Reed, that name is familiar to me. Are you a knight of Leonis?
That I am. Though, if you have heard of my reputation, I've recently gone through experiences that have changed my perspective.
I cannot say I know you by reputation, sir. I do know that your fiancée is finally in the city.
Hmm.
Lady Breadpetal?
Right. Yes, Lady Breadpetal. Breadpetal. Yeah.
She is a spirited young woman, apprentice of Marion Lethay, the former chief magical advisor of the Duke.
woman of many talents.
Yes.
Well, thank you for informing me. I've been out in the wilds.
When you return to Leonis and see Lady Breadbattle, tell her if she has heard any word about Igraine Le Fay, Marion's daughter. I know that Marion is missing, presumed dead, but I believe her daughter is still in the city, and if so, I would like to know for personal satisfaction whether she is being taken care of. I know the Duke and Lady Marion quarreled quite a bit before her mysterious disappearance, and I can't help but worry for the worst.
Upon my honor, then.
Art starts writing down names quietly in the background.
At least
Thank you for your time, then.
TT, at least I like one person up here.
This is true. This one is the best one so far.
Do keep yourself
Yeah, I
safe.
don't know if I trust her.
And you too, Sir Berta Lacquereid.
See, I understand that, Flavian, but she would be the kind of person that my wife would get along with, which means I would get along with her very well. That conservatory felt more like home than anywhere has this entire time.
He won't make a big fuss about it, but he will ask us to take one of the deadly poison flowers.
Just don't touch it with your hands. Wear gloves, and she motions to the gloves on her hands.
But of course.
And through however means he must do it, he's gonna put that on his breast.
If any botanists are watching, I don't know if nightshade is poisonous in that sense. I imagine it's only related to poisonous if you ingest it. But it's magic nightshade, so fuck you.
I can look it up.
It's
definitely makes a
poisonous to,
statement.
it's poisonous to handle and touch.
I mainly know Deadly Nightshade from The Nightmare Before Christmas, a documentary that we can all agree is perfectly sound and factual.
100%.
To be fair,
Like the Disney King Arthur.
Yeah.
nightshade is a
Well-
weird range of plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically
Yeah.
tomatoes are a type of nightshade.
Maybe
So
you're
what-
the one who's wrong, theoretical botanist listening in. Go fuck yourself. Anyways.
Yeah, Deadly Nightshade redirects to Atropa belladonna. Or belladonna.
I said nightshade was next to belladonna, so they're the same plant. They're the same plant. I'm a fucking moron. Anyways.
Let's return to Pierre.
Yep, return to Pierre. Well, did you meet everybody?
Yes, for the most part, a gaggle of self-interested scoundrels.
Yeah, that's the rich for you, but they got money and power, and if we can just convince them that their self-interest aligns with the interests of the common folk, the world might be okay.
Oh, by the way,
You've been at that for quite a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, you know, they all love me here. That's the one good thing I can say.
You must have the patience of a saint.
Well, you know. Yeah.
question out of character. Has Pierre met Sir Reed?
I don't think so.
I don't believe
Nope.
so. You recruited
Nope.
Sir
First
Reed
meeting.
after your last meeting with Pierre, so you've
Oh.
got a new friend here.
Saw that.
Oh, yes. So this is Sir Reed. We met him on our travels, and he's a lovely fellow to get along with.
Well,
It's a pleasure
nice to meet you, Sir Reed.
He gives a gentle handshake.
So, I think between the two of us, we can figure out how to get all these people on the right side of history. And as you're talking about that, you hear the dinner bell ring, and it is time to go eat in the dining room.
Oh, finally.
Perhaps we can take advantage of the good feelings that come from eating and pitch some of our ideas.
It takes about 15 minutes or so for everyone to file in and arrive. And as they all sit down, Madame Moutarde looks around and says, "Oh, I say, where's Monsieur Carcasse?" At which point, there is the sound of a sort of pop from the center of the hallway, followed by, I have a description here. I'm fucking reading it. The sound of someone falling down a flight of stairs.
Ooh ah ee ooh ah ooh ah ooh ee ah. Crash.
Thank you, Shady.
Oh, so you mean
You hear the sound of armor clanking as the guards mobilize towards the stairway. Do you all follow?
yes?
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah,
out to see what's
yes.
going on.
There we go. You see at the bottom of the stairs is Monsieur Carcasse struggling with a wound. He's moaning and groaning in pain, and he's casting a sort of blue glow on himself with magic as he tries to heal himself, and then explodes into a shower of viscera.
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez.
Like when we popped red caps, kind of.
Yeah, very similar to that, really.
Some bits
Ah.
got into my visor.
18, finally.
It's got a 3.
OBS just disconnected. I'm gonna make sure it's reconnected real quick.
This kind
Yeah.
of makes sense role-wise. Duck and Flavian, you notice two things upon witnessing Monsieur Carcasse's untimely demise.
We're not recording, right?
Oh shit.
1 second. It came back on. I'm just making sure everybody can still see it. It should be good.
Yeah, don't forget,
Okay.
people who are getting critical fails, you get a 5 yellow point for those.
Yay!
So,
I need to roll.
for those of you who saw the demise of Monsieur Carcasse, Duck and Flavian, as you watched Monsieur Carcasse die, you noticed two things in the moments preceding of his death. One, there were runes in the air, very faint, but if you know to look for magic, you can see runes, that were teleportation runes, essentially. He had transported himself here, which means that wherever he was wounded was not this hallway. And two, the healing magic beefed up. And when healing magic beefs up when you're trying to cure a mortal wound, it causes the opposite of what you want to happen. And makes you
Oh.
die extremely fast and extremely violently. So in
He
his
got
desperate
magic
attempt,
rebound.
in his desperate attempt to heal himself of a mortal wound, he exploded himself. Exploding yourself is a very common thing for wizards, amongst a variety of things. It's kind of the default way for a spell to go really badly.
Oh, so my joke about it is like, is that normal for wizards? It kind of is.
It kind of is. It happens more often than you'd think. Enough that if there were a large concentration of wizards, they would eventually just get numb to the fact that every now and then, somebody explodes. Irreversible.
Imagine that.
Jesus.
And now, the question is, who killed Monsieur Carcasse? And where? And with what?
Oh, it's not the garrote.
Well, Reed will look to everyone else. Everyone, spread out. I'm going to keep everyone in the dining room.
Now, wait a moment, says Mr. Blanc. You want us all to spread out? Won't that make
No.
us easy prey for the murderer?
The rest of you stay right here in my line of sight.
My trusted companions will investigate.
Your trusted companions? We've only met you today! I hate to do it, but I do agree with Mr. Blanc. I've just met you, and while I did show you my crossbow, I'm not sure if I trust you to handle a murder.
Can I do a bit?
Oh, this is dreadful. It's like when my 4th fiancée turned into a red herring. Or when my 5th fiancée turned into a red herring. Or when my 6th fiancée... Yes, we get it, your fiancé's turned into fish.
Duck gets a horrified look and looks over at Madame Motard and about how we were eating red herring.
Yeah.
She doesn't put 2 and 2 together. She's actually eating the food cautiously while everyone else...
I feel that.
Professor Payan says, I think the answer to this question is very easy. It's the clowns. Hey, fuck you! Well, you're peasants, and you're spawns of the devil. It's very clear you're the ones who did this devilry.
No, it wasn't entertaining enough to be them.
We're just humble entertainers. It's like this every time, Bianca. Every time we try to go straight, they always find something to pin on us anyway.
No, they're just looking for a scapegoat.
Well, what about you? Strange people? What even are your credentials of nobility? Hey! Pierre holds his hands up. They're my friends. And immediately all the nobles relax. Yeah, okay. Friends.
Pierre really worked in this crowd.
I fucking love Pierre.
We fucking stand Pierre.
Now listen,
Yeah.
guys. These friends of mine, they've helped people all throughout Amorigal. I've been there personally at least a few times. They're good folks, and they're sharp folks, and they're gonna come to the conclusion and figure out who killed him, where, and with what.
Yeah.
Upon my
Are you
honor
saying
as a
this?
knight.
Yvonne starts making his way to the door.
It whispers
Hey.
to Grugan. After him.
Oh, it's just, hey, it's just me, the bodyguard. You know.
I do have to point out again that I still look like a twink. He shouldn't be that startled.
Well,
I think
Arthur's
it's
there
3
too.
people suddenly
Arthur's there too with the strangely glowing eyes.
with Moncher.
That's fair.
Mhm.
And then
Who's
he
also
sighs.
in glamour.
Okay, look, I'll admit it. I came here to rob the place. I hid weapons in various rooms in case anyone caught me so I could defend myself. I'm not proud to admit it. It's just that there was a lot of money and I could make away with it like a bandit. I apologize. I haven't robbed anyone yet, so all I'm guilty of is hiding 5 deadly objects in here. The only murder weapons. Well, also there's my crossbow. Oh, wait, I shouldn't volunteer that information.
And that guy's crossbow.
Damn it.
I think Art will like turn to Grugan's like, didn't we like find something earlier and confiscate it? So wouldn't it technically still be 5 weapons? Counting the
Technically.
crossbow?
Reed will bend down to Duck. Why don't you do some scouting? Find
Yep.
blood.
Yeah,
Yeah, speaking of that crossbow, where's the crossbow now?
Well, I left it in the lounge, of course.
Oh, I see.
I'll go check the
Yeah,
lounge.
so that could be one of the murder
guards-
weapons.
The guards come in, huffing and puffing, they're like, "We regret to inform you all that Monsieur Carcass is dead." Yeah, we know. We watched it happen. Yes, we did a thorough search of the body. He's not coming back from that.
It's a
Yeah,
shriek,
you could
as
bring-
say.
All the king's horses and all the king's men, and they would not put that back together again, I'll tell you that much.
why would horses be able to help?
Glue?
Grugan looks to, or Duck looks to Grugan and with like distress. It's like, why would they ask horses for help? What's it is with humans?
I suppose this is the
charming knowledge. This is the charming intuition we can expect of our martial forces.
So Grugan's gonna lean into
So-
this guy real quick, like, and whisper to him. He's like, I don't, care that you were here to rob people. We just hang out just to make sure that you're not, implicated in this because they want to get out of their shit.
Yeah, I'll do anything just don't execute me.
And yeah, just go
I
sit
was
down
just
and-
trying to rob rich people.
I mean,
Bert pokes a head up from the lounge. Not inherently a crime.
not inherently a crime.
All right.
So
So
Grugan's
now
gonna go.
it's time
Oh my
for the
God.
second phase of our session, the investigation.
Dun, dun,
So-
dun, dun.
Where do you want
TT.
Grugan to go?
Let's do it one room at a time, gang, for my sake as a human.
That's fair. Lounge.
So TT.
Yes.
I know this is probably not how you were planning for it, but in tropism rituals, it literally states that teleportation is involved with entropism. So I wonder if Duck might be able to, track where he teleported from, possibly.
Snatch up some of that magic.
If you want to spend the MP to do that, sure.
Because it would be a medium, I think, because that's locate someone or something, which I think that
Yeah.
would work for that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're fine with spending that MP, go ahead.
Yeah, so that'd be a medium and difficulty level 10. 'Cause that's a very simple thing, I think.
Yep.
12.
TT, where's this
That
music
enough?
from?
This
Uh,
is from Persona 4.
I thought it
this
was
is-
familiar.
This is specifically the music that plays in any cutscene where you're seeing clues of the murder mystery at the heart of that game. Often scenes where like things are obscured, so you get a little bit of information, but you're not surely what's. It's a really good track for investigating some creepy shit.
It's unsettling.
Yeah, I fucking love it. I love Persona 4. Great soundtrack.
But yeah, a
So the
medium difficulty would be a 10.
Okay, so that sounds like that's enough to get it.
So that's
So, you find out that our wizard friend died or was killed in the library. Or he was wounded in the library before teleporting to the hallway where his body was found. Yeah.
Scamper over there.
So the library is where he was mortally wounded.
Yeah, Duck will point that out to the group.
So are we investigating the library first?
Yes.
Okay. Plus, congrats. Magic has allowed you to cut the knot and figure out where, but you still need to figure out who and with what.
Yeah, is the hammer still here? Whoever saw the hammer?
yeah,
Okay.
it was
keep
over
the
here.
room. So you can do a double insight check or a dex plus insight check. And they both give you different things. So a double insight check and a dex plus insight check.
And we can do both.
You can do both.
12 and 10 for Duck.
Man.
All right, Flavian and Duck. You guys have gotten this one already. So the double insight we don't need. You found that the hammer is right where it should be.
Okay, so
Is
he
it
wasn't
bloody?
bludgeoned. Oh, yeah.
And Flavian, as you're searching, to remember where the hammer is, you notice that one of the shelves has a bunch of books that were hastily put back on the shelf, as if they had been knocked over and someone quickly put them back so it wouldn't look like there had been a struggle in this room. Which is the clue that would have given away that this is where the murder happened.
considering something went awry with his healing magic, I advise the person who put together
Oh.
that all those ingredients in
there's-
the conservatory are used for witchcraft.
There's one more detail. There is potting soil on the library floor.
So Reed, is that the same stuff?
Aye.
Oh yeah. Flavian asked, "Is the hammer bloody, or is it?"
It's
Clean and
pristine. It's literally exactly where it was when you last saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, so seems like the attack happened in this room. Like you said, Duck.
Yeah. Who was it who determined the witchcraft
You.
ingredients? I wasn't. My role was
Art.
Yeah, it was Art, because witch wife.
Art and Flavian, I think. He's like, oh yeah, I don't remember those nightshades and belladonnas. I don't know why I went to the game room.
So you say we gotta go back here.
Checking the conservatory next.
Yeah.
We should check the secret passage.
Double inside check.
She was not trustworthy.
17.
Fuck. Okay, Doc. One, crowbar. The Iron Crow is right where it is. Two, a pot near the secret door has been broken, as if someone was running by it and accidentally knocked it over and it shattered.
Ooh. We should check the feet of the people, when we get back, see if any of them have soil on their shoes.
Not a bad
That's very
idea.
smart. Very smart, Sherlock.
But does it look like any of the belladonna or the nightshade stuff is missing, like it was used?
Nope, none of the plants have been altered other than the one that was in the pot that's now, smashed on the floor.
But
We should follow
go
this trap door and see what's that way.
Alright.
into
When
the
you go
garden.
down the trap door, you find yourself in a servant's, in basically a servant's passage to go through various places. Real life servants probably not quite to the extent of your average murder mystery house, but they do have like a lot of secret passages in manners like this, so that they can do the cleaning and stuff without being seen doing the cleaning, which was an important thing for rich fucks who want to pretend that their lives are magic. Anyways, you emerge in the lounge of all places.
Where's that dumb fuck crossbow?
And as you emerge from lounge, the really interesting thing is the door, the trap door, was left open, as if whoever ran in here forgot to close it. There is tracks of dirt to the table, and there is a case for a crossbow on the table.
Is there
Case
a
for the
crossbow?
but not
Yeah,
When
it's
you
like
open the case,
crossbows.
the case is empty.
It really is convenient for the killer that he reduced himself to a mist so he couldn't determine how he was injured.
Yes. Normally the what killed them thing shouldn't be hard to figure out. One wonders how this makes sense in the actual game of Clue. You would think there would be a very clear distinguishable difference between a person who was killed with a rope versus a person killed with a pistol, but I guess I'm not a policeman.
We could expect that level of competence from policemen.
I mean,
Does
look
that-
at what the guard said.
That rope
Hey,
shot him
look at
3
these
times.
marks on his. Look at these marks on his neck. Clearly, that came from a wrench.
Yeah, one thing I'm not getting so far, though, guys. So there's some dirt here from the plants here, and there's some dirts in the murder room. So the person running back and forth between the two rooms? What do you think their route was?
Hmm.
It was our friend with the crossbow. He goes down the hatch, pops up in the conservatory, runs out the conservatory to the library where the wizard's at, shoots the wizard, panics, runs back down to where the crossbow's at, through the conservatory back here, tracking dirt, hiding and ditching the crossbow, potentially in the fireplace, because that'd be a convenient place to burn it, but they aren't the brightest, so it could be just stashed somewhere.
Like under the couches.
Search.
Is it just
And then walks out of the room like he's supposed to.
There's a
real quick before I forget.
Yeah.
That plant back at the conservatory, does it seem like somebody brushed against that and knocked it over?
It looks like
Sort of.
someone was running real
Per-
quick past it
Perhaps
and
with
accidentally
their
knocked it off.
perhaps with their bare skin.
No, they would have hip checked it essentially.
Okay. Just wondering maybe if we go back and check everybody's hands.
Rash.
Yeah.
Fortunately, no.
Yeah,
But good thinking.
Continue investigating the rooms.
All right, which room are we going to next?
Did we investigate the lounge?
Here, I'm gonna put X's on the ones that we've been to. Been here, we've done here, and we've done the lounge.
Go check the ballroom since that's where the wizard was in the first place.
All right, so there's some dirt smeared across the room in here, and one thing is you do find most of it's just like little smears of dirt, but there is one that's a sort of clear footprint going up from down here up to here, as if someone ran in through this door to talk with Monsieur Carcasse here, where you remember him standing before. And then there is a fainter streak of dirt headed towards this way. So to illustrate it, like so.
Continue
This is a
following.
head scratcher. This dirt in here too.
They tracked it from the lounge from the conservatory.
Yeah, where does this? Can I see where the streak of dirt continues to? Out of this door?
Insight plus Dex.
And was there anything else we could possibly find in this room?
Nothing of importance. You already know to look for dirt trails, so I'm not going to make you do another double insight check for that every single time.
And we know the garrote wasn't used.
Okay.
Duck spinning it in her hands.
You trace the dirt, and the trail gets fainter, but eventually comes into the library. So it looks like whoever it was came from the lounge, go to the ballroom to meet someone in the library. Or rather, to take someone to the library.
Yeah, because that's where he got shot. Probably by the crossbow.
But we haven't found that one yet.
Can we check the study while we're up here at this current moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do that, Arthur.
Might as well. Alright. So in the
I mean,
study.
We still don't know
Dex
what the
plus
weapon
insight
is.
check, please.
Sure. Can I spend a
Okay,
fabulous
13.
point to reroll that?
Yeah, go ahead. Alright. Poor Arthur.
I'm invoking the bond of Sir Reed because he's my friend and I can't let him down to make that an 11.
Okay. You all managed to find, tucked into a couch cushion in the study, a note. As you unfurl it, it is a love letter to Princess Prune. Very detailed, talking about how they don't care about the danger, and that they know they can't offer much in the way of money or security, but they offer their truest and most deep, abiding love, and it's from Professor Payon.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to spend a fabula point to use it to invoke a bond.
Okay, just keeping track of anything.
There are
Interesting.
three rooms you haven't searched.
Well, we could take a shortcut by taking this path. Whee!
Yes. Where does that lead?
You pop up in the
Skidoo.
kitchen. What a strange and unlike anything in pre-established history, little secret entrance that is. Makes kind of sense though for there to be a secret pathway from the kitchen to the study. How else are you gonna bring people snacks? All right. There's a double insight check to be made. 2 double insight checks. You get 2 chances on this.
Yay. Crit. Oh, damn, Grugan.
At least for the first
Secret.
one.
Man, Flavian, you're just rolling, like, consistently well for all of these.
Okay.
Finally, anyway.
As you all search this area, you discover 2 things. 1, the dagger is stuck in a big hawk of ham. As if a cook grabbed it thinking it was a normal knife and tried to carve the ham, but because of the shape of the dagger, it got stuck, and they couldn't figure out how to get it out, and they just left it there like, we're gonna deal with that later. So you now know the dagger, the blacksmith hammer, the candelabra, and the garrote were not the murder weapon.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh, and the
candelabra's still-
Iron Crow. And the Iron Crow. So you know for sure now that the what is the crossbow.
That's
The
better.
candelabra is still in the dining room, right?
Yep. You do find a very small bit of loose potting soil in this room next to a counter that has a baking tray of bonbons, which is kind of odd. There's several rows of bonbons, but most of them have like 10 bonbons on them, but the leftmost one only has 3, and the second leftmost one only has 6. Almost like someone snuck in here to steal bonbons.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit of potting soil, like a person who did their best to stamp off their feet, but had just a little bit ingrained in there that they didn't realize was there, that fell off while they were in here sneaking bonbons.
Go check the reception hall.
Okay. The reception hall. Pristine and
Ooh,
untouched.
unattended.
You come in there and it's all put back together. In fact, it's actually cleaner than when you found it. As if someone really wanted to make a good impression after performing it, after rehearsing in here, and did their best to put it as nicely as possible. And yes, there is an unattended bar in here if you would like to get drunk while solving a mystery.
No, just stashing some away. This is some of the good stuff.
So that leaves the game room and the reception. Well, we just did the reception hall. Yeah, nothing, no checks to be made. Reception hall is clean as a whistle.
Okay, well. I suppose we could roll them out.
Is the deck still rigged?
Alright. Game room time. The cards are missing. Otherwise, this room is unchanged.
Hmm. Is there a weapon? There wasn't a weapon hidden in here that we noticed, right?
I don't think
Nope.
so. Just rigged cards.
We haven't found the crossbow. We looked everywhere, but
Does
might
upstairs lead
imply-
anywhere?
No, that actually leads downstairs to
Right, right,
where guests would be greeted and all that.
right.
Well, if we haven't found the crossbow, unless it's hidden very well and we still just haven't noticed it, that might imply it's still on the person.
Hmm?
And there are 3 people in there with some very big skirts.
True.
I'm trying to put this all together. It seems like
I think Madam Mustard just kind of snuck into the kitchen to get some food.
Possible.
Either that or our killer was very peckish.
As you guys leave the game room, make a double insight check for me.
Sure.
Yay.
Or an insight plus text. Oh, never mind.
Christ,
All right, Duck. Duck, you spot something
Damn,
now.
I'm sure. I'm sorry.
You hadn't noticed it before, but you notice it now. You see a playing card right here between the game room and the conservatory.
As
Uh,
it
Mr.
maybe
Blanc.
fell from his pockets.
Could be, who can say? And that's all the clues you can get from searching the rooms. Now, there's one other thing you guys could do that any detective would, and that is interrogate the suspects.
Irrigate, yeah. Yeah, I think we need to know a little bit more about what's all going on. We should, why don't we have them come to the reception hall, you know? One by
Yeah.
one, and we interrogate them.
Sure, that sounds like a fine idea.
Yeah, it would make them more likely to spill something if they're not in front
If
of
they're
people.
made nervous.
So
Yeah.
Duck will just, since Reed, you're kind of taking the lead of this, announce that we've cleared the Jester's Jape of wrongdoing.
Yeah, fuck all yous! We didn't do shit!
Oh, good hearing on that
Bianca
one.
face palms and is like, ah, there goes decorum.
I'm afraid decorum went out the window as soon as foul play came into question.
Well, I suppose we shall reconvene in the reception hall and see what you sleuths have figured out.
Wait, we have a Perot clown, and we're having a Hercule Poirot moment.
Yeah. All right.
Flavian
Everyone's in the
activates his
reception
mustache
hall.
to have the Perot mustache.
You're a fae, I'm pretty sure you could just do it because it's funny.
No, I mean, Flavian, because his glamour is just he
Yeah.
gets a mustache, just change it to the Hercule Poirot's.
God, my brain is going to Detective Sokka with his fake beard and he keeps grooming it.
Hey, wait a
like-
second, we got them all in here?
I think so. Didn't I grab all 6?
Thought we were gonna
Yeah,
do this
I would-
all one by one.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know. However you want to do it.
yeah. Well, we can still do the whole isolate them one by one, but the reception hall is nice and comfy. Have everyone sit.
Okay, who do we want to
So
start
who
with?
shall we interrogate first?
An excellent question. We have Professor Peacock, Princess Plum, Lord Scarlet, Mr. White, Miss Green, and Madam Mustard.
I think I have a good start.
No.
Princess
Okay.
Prune.
Yeah, I agree.
tell us, what is Monsieur Carcass? What was his interest in you?
He wanted my hand in marriage. For over 25 years he's been trying to court me.
And for
how long
25
has your...
years.
Hmm?
Go on.
Duck. And how... Inform the rest of us, again, how long have you been cursed? With the unfortunate problem with your suitors turning into red herrings?
25 years, I get what you're getting at. Yes, of course I suspected, perhaps even knew, that he was the one turning all of my other fiancés into herrings.
I mean, he
But I
pretty
wouldn't
much
kill him
bragged
for it.
about it too. He pretty much bragged about it to us, so...
I wouldn't kill him for it. I mean, sure, I thought about it because he was keeping me single well into my 40s.
Well, perhaps you want it, but perhaps the one who truly desires you would. Points to whoever holds the letter.
See Professor Payon sweating.
Several of you would be interested in her family fortune, wouldn't you?
It's not the fortune I want. It's you, Prune.
You perhaps want her, but a certain one of us, well known for his ties to criminal organizations and quite stingy with his money and quite terrible at making gambling bets and debts, would be
Now see
interested in
here,
the
says
money.
Mr. Blanc. That is irrelevant to this.
Yeah,
I know what
kinda
you're
got it.
thinking, that just because I owed Carcass a lot of money, I'd kill him just so I'd get out of it. Well, that would never happen. I would never kill someone to get out of my debts.
Oh, so fun fact, we actually didn't know that you owed him money. Although we could have
Shit.
assumed that.
Shit.
No, TT, what's the crime boss that sent Duck after him?
That's a very good question. I didn't think that far. We're gonna grab one of these great names.
Goofist sends his regards.
No, do not bring Goonchfist here. I will.
Yeah,
Uncle
kill the
Pork.
stream.
It's the great crime boss known as Uncle Porkstar.
Oh,
I knew it.
oh, really? Uncle Porkstar would beg to differ.
No, Miss Vert has a reason to hate him. Oh, don't dare. We all know it. We all know it. It's an open secret. You're a witch. You're a witch. You practice witchcraft. I know some simple conjuration. Witch! 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 And he threatened to expose you so many times. I just know it.
He was a
True.
wizard.
Yes, and wizardry is viewed with respect, but witchcraft is viewed with disdain, simply because some witches happen to consort with devils. Not that I am a witch, I am a conjurer, and a minor league conjurer at that. But it is true, he did accuse me of witchcraft and threatened me several times with exposure if I didn't give him certain sums of money.
Wait, so that was... Carcass was blackmailing her?
Carcass was blackmailing Miss Vert over her nature as a witch.
Mhm. Something did go wrong when the good wizard attempted to heal himself. Something of the magical variety.
Well, perhaps it was his own incompetence. Why, Madame Boutard, don't you have an experience with his shaky spell casting? Well, alright, there was that time he made me lose my sense of taste for 2 whole years, and I do hold a grudge, I will admit. And yes, there were times I said I could wring his neck for doing it because I really love the experience of taste. But that doesn't mean I was literally telling the truth.
It'd be kind of messed up to kill him for taking away your taste buds, but then again, 2 years is a long time.
Lord is Ecarlate. Fuck, what is that name again, William? Lord Ecarlate shakes his head and is like, ah, you're all so guilty.
Hey,
When
you look so cheery over there. Your crossbow's the murder weapon.
What? Who touched my fucking crossbow?
Murder.
Which one of you did it? Do you know how expensive that is?
it was a Weber original. We are
No, forget
aware.
the fucking murder. Who touched it? Which one of you touched my crossbow? Who touched it?
This seems legit. You might not be the one who killed them. If
Was it you, Block? I'll kill you, son of a bitch! Whoa, fuck, dude.
Reed is gonna like put his hands on Scarlet's shoulders. Sit down.
Sorry, it was really expensive. You couldn't have killed him with something else?
You know, it's worth asking. When you last had the crossbow, did you have it reloaded fully?
I did manage to reload it, yes, I finally figured it out. But then the dinner bell rang, so I put it in its case.
Yes.
Oh.
And we found the case empty.
Son of a bitch! I knew I should have swung for the extra lock. Ross said it was only 10,000 more gold, but that was a lot.
a duck just shares like 1,000-yard stare with Pierre across the room.
Now, something most unusual is that we searched this place high and low. And while we narrowed it down to the crossbow being the murder weapon, we haven't yet found it. Isn't that strange? Either someone is very good at playing a poker face, or that weapon's in this very room.
Yvonne frowns, steps forward, and pulls out from his backpack the crossbow.
Are you trying to steal it? Because it's
I
expensive.
found it outside the library.
Outside the library. Thank you for this information.
I didn't know it was yours, Mr. Red Guy. Lord Ecarlate looks at him. Cut your thieving hands off, you son of a bitch.
So, somebody emerged from the trapdoor in the lounge, took the crossbow, head to the ballroom, maybe used it, then fled to the library, abandoned the crossbow somewhere out there. It got picked up before we could find it, of course.
Well, remember, we know for sure that Karkas died in the library.
Yeah, he was shot in the library, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
so,
teleported from the library, so at the very least he got to the library before
Being shot.
he was... Yeah.
Yeah. So either he was shot in the ballroom and he managed to stumble away, or somebody led him to the library.
I'm gonna guess
Yep.
somebody led him to the library for something and then shot him there, hoping he wouldn't be found. Or they could blackmail whoever's been hanging around the library.
And the person who's been hanging out in the library has been the professor, who, you know, really wants to marry Plum.
Yeah, honestly, you can feel free to confess. I mean, honestly, if you killed him for, you know, transforming all of her suitors into fish, I feel like that's pretty justified slaying, you know?
I didn't kill him. I mean, yes. I'm pretty sure that he's the reason why... Well... Even if he wasn't turning her suitors to fish... He looks at the princess. I know we can't marry. You need someone who can make sure you're financially stable, and... I need to marry someone who's financially stable to be rich. And... I have nothing to offer you, so... It wasn't just Carcassonne, though. If I had gotten that advisor position, this could have been different. We could have been different. I didn't kill him. I wish I had. When I was younger. And I still had an opportunity to make a life with you, Prune. Princess Prune looks at him very sadly.
Krugen's gonna point out something, and he's very callous about it. He's gonna go, well, there is a position open, isn't there?
Oh, hey! I mean, you know, not to make light of the murder, but hey!
Esteemed guests, could you please put up your feet? You know, those shoes you're so fond of using to trample the peasantry.
Nice.
Ha! Nice, says Lord Ecarlate. They put up their feet.
Who has dirt on them? Literal dirt, not proverbial dirt.
Their shoes are all pristine. As if they stopped and got a servant to clean themselves up. You do notice that Miss Verte, for example, doesn't have any dirt stains on her clothes anymore. Obviously, they got cleaned before going to the dining room because you don't want to look dirty.
Yeah.
Or disheveled in front of fellow nobles.
Mm-hmm. Madame Motard, did you happen to swing by the kitchen before the dinner?
Yes.
Did you happen to visit the conservatory?
Even after you caught me, I went back. But I wasn't the only one. Miss Verte was there too. She blushes a little bit. Happened to like bonbons. I only took a couple.
Now, hold on, you know, I'm thinking back to it, Madame Motard. What exactly did, El Carcass, why did he, take away your taste buds anyway?
He was trying to make a feast taste even more scrumptious, and he fucked it up because he's a moron.
We left you like that for 2 years?
It took 2 years for him to figure out how to undo it, the fucking jackanape. God rest his soul.
So it may not be a case of sabotage, but it may be a case of, you know, it's still murder, obviously, but maybe that's not sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes wizards just kind of do that when they fuck up a spell bad enough while they're hurt.
It seems probably that, while she was getting the bonbons, somebody went in there.
Yes, because Vert would know where all her plants would be. I don't think she would break her own shit.
Definitely not. So that means that somebody waited for her to leave.
Yep.
And who was closest but Blanc?
And there was a
Playing
card
card.
leading there.
Blanc, do you still have that deck of yours?
The one you were rigging for the game after the dinner.
Oh, come on, you don't know it was rigged.
No,
Provide
I'm
the deck.
very aware.
Fine, he says, pulling out the deck. Fine, yes, I was rigging.
Duck will take the cards and very quickly shuffle
Do you
through
want to know?
them.
Rigging a card game? Way less severe than murder. The missing card is missing.
Yep.
Oh, is Duck gonna do the, well, what, is this your card?
Yes, I assume so.
Sorry.
Duck, you go. Seems you're playing without a full deck there, Blanc. As she holds up the card, going, you really gotta keep your hands to yourself.
So I accidentally left one on the table in the game room. It's
Nope.
fine, we have plenty of card decks.
That is not correct. You left it on the floor outside the conservatory, which has a passageway leading to the lounge where the crossbow was.
Lord Eckhart. So you're the one who stole my crossbow. You son of a bitch, I'll kill you! Conjecture. It's conjecture. I. Why would I go through some secret passage in the conservatory to the lounge to get a crossbow?
So
A
nobody
trail
would
that
see
then
you.
leads to the ballroom, where the wizard was. Growing fainter until you led him to the library, where he was shot.
Why would someone go all that way? Wouldn't it make more sense that someone in the study went and shot him? Perhaps someone that we all know has been kept from getting married for 25 years by his weird crush on her? If you're accusing Princess Prune, you're wrong. Before we attended dinner, Professor Pan, I went to see her in the study to give her this note. It's oh shit, I left it in the couch cushions probably. I have a
This note?
note. Holy shit, yes. That note. I confessed my feelings for her. I was worried I wouldn't have the words correctly, so I let her read it in hopes that she would understand. She looks at Pan and she says, do understand. Oh, look how sweet, they're in love, says Mr. Blanc. Oh, that's so great. I can't stole the crossbow. Blanc. I'm
Has
gonna kill you, you son of a bitch.
has Blanc aired any grievances against the wizard himself?
We know that he's in debt to him.
Yeah.
You stole my
Exactly.
crossbow.
Brain.
Your
Brain
cards
looking
were in the
for-
conservatory. It's a solid case, Monsieur Blanc. I mean, is it though? Are we sure it's not the witch?
Oh wait, he might be a red herring. His hair's red.
Yeah, go with that.
Oh no, that was me outside a game. Because I made the joke earlier. It's like, oh, someone's hair needs to be red to be the actual red herring. Wait a minute, Blanc was the redhead.
Miss Vert would know better than to drag dirt through the hallways.
But she's always in that stupid little greenhouse. I'm not sure.
And yet
I mean, I've never
she's,
even stepped foot in the place. How would I know there's a secret entrance? A key fact, he says he's never set foot in the place. Does it look like the person who was running through the conservatory knew where they were going?
He did pop up in the. Yeah.
Not percent-
Someone who,
well-
whoever appeared in the conservatory, obviously
into the
hasn't been there
plants.
very much.
Because I knocked over that one.
Yeah, and then tracking dirt.
Nobody who would know the conservatory well would knock over a plant, flailing around trying to find their way through it.
This isn't your first time here, is it?
No, indeed, says Lord Akalete. We've all been here before. We all know the staff, and they have staff entrances. All you would have to do is bribe one of them, and they would tell you exactly how to get about.
You know, we could just
Finding
ask
your
the
way
staff.
about actually following their directions is another matter. No, please! Please! Okay, I didn't do it. But if I did... He was kind of a prick, though, right? Right?
I don't think anybody's arguing that.
So I say we all just blame it on Mr. Yvonne and go our separate ways. Lord
No.
Ecarlate shakes his head. No. You stole my fucking crossbow. And he slugs Mr. Blanc in the jaw. And immediately he's on him, beating the shit out of him. One of the Azurite goes, yeah, get his ass!
Sighs and looks to Reed and Grugan.
I'll grab him and like just like pick him up.
I'll kill him! I'll kill the son of a bitch! He touched my crossbow!
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna confess to having the crossbow now.
The guards grab Mr. Blanc and they're like, sorry, sir, but you killed the Duke's advisor. You're going to jail. Aw, man! And probably gonna be executed. Ah! And with that, congrats.
Did we actually solve it?
Were we
You
correct,
solved the
though?
mystery. Yes, you were. Yes,
Fantastic.
you
What I want to
were.
know is,
You
where's the
correctly
crossbow?
solved.
He had
you
it.
correctly figured out who did it, where,
that's right.
and with what.
The crossbow was abandoned
That's
outside
right.
of the library,
And this guy
and
picked
it was
it
picked up by the creepy dude.
I blanked
So I
on that.
guess
Yeah.
the route was something like that.
Snuck from the game room, probably from this entrance specifically. Snuck from
Yeah.
the game room once they were sure the conservatory was clear, used the secret entrance to go to the lounge, to sneak to the ballroom without anyone seeing him go to the ballroom so no one could peg that he was the one who talked to Carcass, quickly getting Carcass into the library,
Sure, yeah.
where he killed him, knowing that it was empty because he had also heard Payon sneak out to talk with Prune, thereby allowing him to be alone with Carcass without anyone having spotted him be alone with Carcass to do the murder, and then sneak out, not realizing that Carcass was alive enough to teleport to the stairs to try and escape, only to explode himself when dodging a healing spell because he was not a very good wizard.
My brain was not engaging the actual like who was where at the time.
Mm-hmm. But there you go. After proving that the rest of them were innocent, the nobility assembled here give you all a combined reward from them of 150,000 zenith.
Jesus.
They also become very amenable to joining your cause.
Especially if Payon's gonna become the new Duke's advisor.
And also because Pierre's there to tell him, like, you really should listen to these guys.
So that's 25k for each of us.
I'm going to
Yeesh.
go up to this guy and out of my own backpack, I'm going to give him 500 GP and go for your trouble. I imagine that you weren't paid by the wizard.
Thank you. Also,
Yeah,
I'm going to sell this
2500
crossbow for a mint. Apparently, it's worth 45,000 GP.
Wait, how much is it each?
25,000.
You do the math.
25k each.
Ooh.
Yay!
Ooh, that's a pretty penny.
And as
That's a fucking
you're
lot.
celebrating that, the Jester's Jape approaches you. Scarlet's like, all right, I talked it over with the gals. We realize this whole Forma thing isn't going our way at the moment. So, sign us up for this resistance movement you got going on. Seems the noble bigwigs are all into it, so we're gonna get in on the piece of the pie too. Get some of those dividends. Bianca sighs. It's a living.
Wow.
Should we send them to Betelabel?
Probably
Before-
best to send him to Lutetia.
Yeah.
Lutetia.
Well, before you leave, ladies, and he's just going to look at the professor. I believe you owe them an apology.
I'm sorry I brought up your dirty, fiendish heritage when it turned out you were actually okay. Yeah, go fuck yourself, smarty pants. Girls, let's go to our suite downstairs. These fuckers don't deserve a performance. Except for you guys, mystery solvers, and you, Pierre. We fucking love you. All right.
Everybody loves Pierre.
Everybody loves Pierre.
To be fair, Pierre has the energy of a very fat cat.
I
Everyone wants to
wanted
pet it.
I wanted Pierre to be Dom DeLuise. If I could do a Dom DeLuise voice, I would give him
Oh
one.
yeah.
You know, it's, whenever you walk into a house and there's a really fat cat sitting on the couch, you want to pet it.
Yeah, that's Pierre. Just a sweet guy.
That's more Briere.
Yep.
I will say, if one last character thing doesn't have to be role played out, but Art will talk to both of the ladies and be like, "Here's my wife's address if you wish to talk magics or interest. Yada da da da. She's a great old witch. She loves hanging out with people, and if you have questions, she's usually more than happy to answer them. Just tell her Art sent you."
Miss Virgil
like
was
that.
like, "Oh, she's at the Dragon Blessed Coven. But yes, I would like to meet her."
Oh, that's new information.
I told you she was a witch.
Not the coven name though.
Fair. My brain's not all in here anymore.
Speaking of Madame Vert, it is Madame, right? Miss Vert.
Yeah.
It's Madame Winter. Miss Vert, been trying to find a home for this guy and pulls out the Hocus Etru.
I'd gladly take him.
They were actually very helpful. They've actually had a previous student that you'd be amazed at what they were able to teach them, even for. They should be a good help. And hands it over.
And you give her a nice hocus. And they're gonna be good friends.
You know, the Hocus upgraded from swamp troll to nobility.
Yep. And to a far more powerful witch than she has been letting up.
Nice. Grugan is going to offer his hand to Madam. Jesus.
Mustard?
Mustard, yeah. I'll just call her Mustard. Fuck it.
Did marriage?
No. And he's gonna go. Would you care to join me back in the dining room? I believe there's still food on the table.
Oh, yes, of course. The
Grugan's
bonbons are delightful.
Gru just like, I'm gonna eat all that fucking food, and she likes food, so why the hell not, like, invite her?
Oh, here. Goblin rushes, Duck rushes over to the bar and starts scooping up the good stuff. He's not here to complain. Oh, wait. A wizard's place is empty.
Grugan's gonna take this lady that likes eating and go eat. Fuckalia.
That was
That's
meant to.
fair.
He's hungry as fuck.
Oh god, it's really funny though because Grugan, you're in twink form, so it's just like watching this beeple inhale
Exactly.
massive amounts of food. Oh god, he's Shaggy.
We are
Oh my
matching
God.
energy over here, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that to many orcs, an appetite is attractive.
I'm not saying that's why he chose her to come eat with him, but yes. He knows nothing's gonna come of it because, you know, she's human noble, but he's just like, fuck yeah, somebody's gonna eat with me.
You
Someone
don't
who-
necessarily
on
know
my
that,
level.
and I'm gonna let that be for the fanfic writers to determine.
Okay. Apparently the
Grugan
harem
really is
protagonist
becoming
this
the-
time around.
Yeah, it's always the big hairy ones. If Charles didn't beat Edmund for size, Edmund would have been last time.
I mean, kind of was a little bit.
True.
You shared that spotlight sometimes.
As you guys eat dinner, you notice a quiet conversation between Payon and Prune, and they hug and kiss in a way that isn't just the platonic European style of kissing. Perhaps
Yay.
deciding that poverty may not be the worst fate after all compared to loneliness. Lord
Aw.
Ecarlate hugs his crossbow and kisses it and promises to polish it every day. Miss Vert eats a humble dinner. Madame Moutarde enjoys eating great big dishes with Grugan. The Jester's Jape comes in to steal bonbons and then goes right back down to their room. And all in all, a nice breather session.
Yes.
Next time will not be that, as we finally head to Leonis.
Oh boy.
But that's it for
Dun.
tonight. Good night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this homage to everyone's favorite board game, Battleship.
We sure sunk that asshole.
But